Cerese here for Cerese D Magazine. It is the August issue and we are making ice cream. Hey, if you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel where we post all of our recipes for Cerese D Magazine. Okay, so today we're gonna be making a vanilla ice cream, a blueberry ice cream, and a margarita ice cream for those of us who like a little bit of cocktail. Now these are no churn ice cream. Really easy to make. All you need is a mixer, a stand mixer. If you don't have a stand mixer, you can just muscle it out. Let's get started. Okay, so into our bowl, we are going to add a half cup of sweetened condensed milk. Okay, next up, we're going to go in with evaporated milk, another half cup. Now this is gonna be our vanilla recipe. So next we're going to do, now this is one of those measure with your heart things. So I'm not really giving it a good measurement. You do want a little bit extra because you wanna see those little black little bits of vanilla beans in your ice cream. My best guess is this is probably a tablespoon and a half or so. Okay, then we're gonna go in with some light corn syrup. Now this you only need maybe, I don't know, teaspoon and a half of it. This is gonna prevent some of the crystals from forming in your ice cream. All right, then we wanna go in with salt. The salt is gonna help the sweetness of it. So you're just giving it, you know, a couple pinches, and I'm using pink Himalayan salt. The last thing we're gonna add is our Philly cream cheese. Now, we are going to use, so that, you know, they come in the 8-ounce regular size packet. I cut it into fourths. So I'm going to use just a fourth of it. Then we're going to take our mixer and combine everything. All right, so here we are going in with 1 cup, 2 cups, 2.5 cups of heavy whipping cream. And what you're gonna do, why it's really good to let this run, because it takes just a couple minutes. So you're gonna run your mixer until it looks like whipped cream, basically. So we're gonna start on low, and then we're gonna move it up. Once it starts getting thicker, you can turn it up a notch, and we'll be like on a speed 4 once it starts to thicken up. Shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. Okay, and then we're going to take our bowl here, and then we're going to take our mixture that we already did with our sweetened condensed milk, our evaporated milk, our cream cheese, the vanilla paste, all the things, the salt, and we're going to pour this into our heavy whipping cream mixture. And then we're just gonna start to fold it in until it gets all incorporated. And you're being kind of gingerly about it. You're just doing it ever so gingerly because you don't want it to deflate. So you're trying to not get that fluffiness of the heavy whipping cream to deflate. You wanna keep it fluffy if you can. Okay, and that is it. It is just that simple. So you saw what this was. This wasn't difficult. This is done. This is vanilla ice cream, and we're gonna pour it into our container, and then you're gonna freeze this. So you're gonna freeze it for, I'm gonna say just do it overnight. That's the best results, is do it overnight. You could check it at the 6 to 8 hour mark, but overnight is gonna be best. Now we've got these cute little containers, and they come in all these different colors. They are so cute. These are gonna be linked on our Amazon storefront. All right, so we're going in with our vanilla ice cream. Try not to make a mess like me. All right, you can see that is just about perfect for this container. So the next thing we're gonna do is we are going to cover this with parchment paper first. So I'm just gonna take parchment paper. I'm gonna take the lid And I'm just gonna roughly cut out the size, just a little bit over the size of this lid. Doesn't have to be perfect. Then I'm gonna press this down to the ice cream. So I want it to meet the entire ice cream. Okay, this is gonna help with those ice crystals. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is take some cling wrap and do the same thing. Right over top. And I'm gonna take my lid and put my lid on. There we go. Okay, so it's nice and tight, ready to go, right in the freezer. Okay, it is blueberry time. So let's go with our second ice cream, which is blueberry. Now into our bowl, we've already got our sweetened condensed milk, we've got our evaporated milk, we've got our tablespoon or so of light Karo syrup, and then I'm just gonna go in with a touch of vanilla. You don't need too much because this is not a vanilla ice cream. Okay, so then I'm going in with lime juice, and I'm just gonna take my blade here and squeeze, not the whole thing, but half of lime. Okay, then before on the vanilla, we did a quarter of the Philly cream cheese. I'm just gonna do half of the quarters. We need our salt, so I'm going in with a couple pinches of the pink Himalayan salt, and then I'm going in with powdered sugar. So that's about 2 tablespoons worth of powdered sugar. Now, to make this blueberry, what we're going to do is we are going to take our blueberries, and you need about a half a pint of blueberries. Put them in your saucepan. Into the saucepan with the blueberries, you're going to put a half cup of sugar and maybe the juice of a half of lime. You let that simmer on the stove, right? And you mash it down as much as you can for about 5-10 minutes, right? And then you're going to come up with your blueberry syrup, so to speak. It's going to go right into our mixing bowl. And you can see they are not totally evaporated. Some of them are still whole. And now we are ready to blend this together. Start off on low. Don't get too excited. You want to get it incorporated before you turn the speed up so it doesn't splash all over you. And look at this color. It is really rich. It's very purpley. Okay, so just like the vanilla ice cream, we went in with our 2.5 cups of heavy whipping cream, and we're going to incorporate the blueberry mixture into that heavy whipping cream. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so now again, we're just going to gently fold and get this all incorporated together. So the last thing we're going to do is take our fresh blueberries and then just drop some right down over top. And this is blueberry ice cream. Okay, so that is our blueberry ice cream, and back into the freezer it goes. Okay, here we are with our third and final ice cream. We are going with a margarita ice cream, which means a little bit of tequila. Let's go. Okay, so in our mixing bowl, we've got our base. We've got our sweetened condensed milk. We've got our evaporated milk. We've got our Karo syrup, our salt. And now we are going to add the zest of 3 limes. So this is really important because you want to see all these little green specks, and it does add so much flavor. So into the mixing bowl that goes. And then we are going to do the juice, and depending on how juicy they are, you're going to have to determine. So I'm going to say 2 to 3 limes, depending on how much juice you think it's given. Then I'm also going to add in a little bit of powdered sugar, so I'm going in with maybe a tablespoon of powdered sugar. Then for our tequila, we are going in with a 1/4 cup, And this is a añejo, but you can use blanco, reposado, totally up to you, whatever you have on hand. And then I'm going in with 1/8 of a cup of Cointreau, but you can use triple sec. It really doesn't matter. I didn't have any triple sec, so I'm using Cointreau. Okay, and then we're gonna mix. Oh, I forgot to mention, I did put just a drop of vanilla bean paste in here. Okay, so we've got our base of our heavy whipping cream. Then we're gonna add our mixture to our fluffy folded already cream. Now keep in mind, this one did not have any of the Philly cream cheese, so it didn't take as long to mix. That tequila smells so good. All right, we're gonna fold in. All those little specks of the green zest or the lime zest are a must, so don't skip that step. You need that lime zest. Margarita ice cream into the freezer. Okay, so we have our first ice cream. This is our vanilla bean ice cream, and it looks so good. I think a cherry on top would look really great. Maybe a couple cherries. If my mom were here, she'd say give me 25 cherries, but that is so cute and it looks so good. Okay, here we go on to our blueberry ice cream. I'm noticing that because we put the whole blueberries in, it's giving me a little trouble to scoop, but it's all going to the same place in the belly. I love it. Blueberry ice cream. Okay, we are here with our third ice cream, our Margarita ice cream, and I am so excited. This is the one I've been waiting for because I want a little bit of cocktail for myself. Woo! Now look at this. This is perfection. I can see the little specks of lime. Let's go in for a taste. Divine. Just delicious. I can taste that tequila. And there you have it, folks. Easy homemade ice cream. Beautiful, delicious without the added ingredients. Stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you next month for our next recipe.